So today we're going to dive into Kapha Dosha. Do you sometimes feel sluggish, lethargic, tired, like you never want to get off the couch? That can be Kapha energy imbalanced. So stay with me, and we're going to talk about how to balance your Kapha Dosha energy in your body. Hi, I'm Dr. Shivani Gupta. I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner, and I love teaching about Ayurveda and our different mind-body constitutions and the self-understanding we can have that can drive significant health changes for us. So when it comes to Kapha is made of earth and water. Those are the primary elements driving this constitution. And if Kapha is your primary constitution, you might have some specific characteristics, like being very sturdy, solid, consistent. So let's first dive into the physical. The physical characteristics of Kapha are someone who's sturdy, stronger, bigger boned. This is someone who can lift heavier. They have more physical strength. This is also someone who has round features, round face, round eyes, maybe oily and curly hair. And so when you meet a Kapha person, this is someone who's very one thing at a time. They're very slow and methodical. They talk a little slower. They do one thing at a time. This is also someone who's very loyal, very calm. They have a very grounding energy to them because it's that earth element. They can also have tendencies like mucus and congestion, and that's bringing in that water element as well. One trait of Kapha is lubrication. So lubrication of the joints, lubrication of our body, and the structure and sturdiness of everything that we have. So understanding that when Kapha people tend to be imbalanced, they might have a tendency towards obesity, diabetes, and different things like that. And so it's important to bring Kapha into balance so that you can be your healthiest self. Oftentimes when I'm in a consultation, when I meet a Kapha, I ask them, when you get home and you sit down on the couch, do you ever have the ability to get up again? And they're like, no. I'm like, I know. I had Kapha in my body for a couple of years post-kids. And every time I sat down at the end of the day, nothing could get me up and moving. And so it's so important to understand Kapha, that's the nature of Kapha. She's like Mother Earth. Once you sit down, you're done for the day. And that's okay. Our job is to get a complete day in before you finally sit down to rest. And understanding if someone around you is a Kapha is also important. What if you're married to a Kapha and you're a Vata dosha and you want to run around and move and they're like, can we just sit still and stay grounded? So now we're going to dive into the different ways that we can balance Kapha through food, through lifestyle, and through different practices so that we can thrive and feel our best. So when a Kapha is feeling out of balance, you're going to have a tendency to have weight gain, excess weight accumulating on the body that's hard to get rid of. Another one is fluid retention, swelling, feeling heavy in the body. Another is lethargic, so feeling tired, sluggish, like you don't want to get up and you're not getting enough sleep. Another one is digestive issues, feeling constipated, feeling heavy, like you're full, but you're not hungry yet for the next meal. And another trait is excessive sleep. Kaphas sleep really well. They sleep profoundly. But when a Kapha is out of balance, you may be sleeping 8, 10, 11 hours. And when you finally wake up, you're not feeling refreshed. And then finally, colds and congestion. Kaphas tend to have more mucus, more congestion, more of the water element going on. And so having mucus, colds, sinuses, lots of allergies and congestion can be happening. And that can also that can make you feel sluggish and heavy as well. And then there's also the emotional symptoms of Kapha. When Kapha is out of balance, a Kapha person becomes really resistant to change. They don't want change in any area of their lives. They become very stubborn, very unwilling to change things. They also get really possessive and tend to be attached to the people around them, don't want to let them go, overly possessive compared to most times. Then also holding grudges, kind of holding on to things. That's the nature of Kapha. It's earth, it holds on. So if you find yourself holding grudges and getting frustrated with everyone, that might be Kapha out of balance. Another tendency of Kapha is depression, kind of feeling low, kind of heavy, under a cloud, kind of like Eeyore. And so getting out from under that cloud is really, really important. And then finally, lack of motivation. If you're feeling like I have no motivation to do my work, I don't feel motivated to do what I'm here for in this world, that can be a Kapha imbalance as well. And so understanding what this accumulation of symptoms is and understanding that it's a dosha imbalance is the first step. And then understanding how to balance Kapha is important. So when I sit down with someone and they have a kapha imbalance, the number one first recommendation is exercise, movement. Why? Because you've got that earth heavy energy. You've got to get it moving. You've got to bring lightness in. You've got to bring motion in to get the whole system moving again. And so whether it's weight training, cardiovascular exercise, dynamic yoga, like hot yoga or vinyasa, power yoga, like moving the energy is the first thing we must do with kapha. And that might be hard. Kapha doesn't want to move. So you really have to get with a coach, get with a practitioner, get with a partner, a workout buddy who's going to keep you accountable and get you more moving first thing in the morning. I have certain people who I work out with where we are accountability buddies to each other, and that helps us get there to the gym and commit to going. And so that can be the first most important step that you take. The next is look at your diet. It might be that you're eating the exact foods that are going to create heaviness and create a whole lethargic system and slow down in your system. So kapha is supposed to give up dairy. I know that sounds hard, but giving up dairy is important because it causes a congestion in the system. It causes a heaviness to the system. Another important thing to give up is sweets. Sweets can create that heaviness in the system as well, and it doesn't help when it comes to metabolism and the weight gain. The whole goal here is how are we eating a diet that's supportive of our dosha? So because kapha has a tendency towards constipation and slower digestion, the antidote to that is to eat well-cooked foods, a little bit smaller meals, but have them be pungent, bitter, or astringent. Now, if you're thinking, what does that mean? That means different vegetables that have those traits. So whether it's kale, Swiss chard, asparagus, think of those foods that kind of feel like they're cleaning you out as you're eating them. Those are the foods for kapha. And so adopting these, not all the time, not all day, but incorporating them into your daily routine a little bit can help you start to balance kapha. So when it comes to vegetables, those are some examples. In fruit, apples, pomegranate, pear, these more astringent fruit, not the super sweet ones, can be very beneficial. When it comes to your grains, avoiding wheat and oats, which can be heavier, instead switching out for corn or barley or millet can be very helpful. Avoiding red meat because it's hard to digest, and instead moving into easier to digest white meats and lighter meals is really that first step after exercise for a kapha. And moving into this diet and these steps will slowly help you start to let go of that heaviness, that dullness, that lethargic, sluggish feeling that holds kapha back from getting out there and doing what they're meant to do. A kapha person is this deeply loyal, grounding, caring, caretaking person, but when out of balance might feel really unmotivated and unsupported. And so taking these steps are the perfect way to start to balance kapha for yourself. So let's talk about the mental strategies that kapha can implement to help stay in balance. The number one thing is routine. So when it comes to a kapha, typically a kapha person is pretty structured in their day, pretty consistent in their day. But if you're a kapha person who's kind of fallen off the horse with your routine and with your structure of what keeps you balanced, the first step is to get that routine in place. Exercise first thing, move the energy first. Then structure your day to eat the way you're supposed to eat those cooked foods. And when it comes to kapha, kapha can tend to sleep late and then sleep in really late. That's what I see with a lot of kaphas. And so moving that bedtime up, creating that sleep pressure so you wake up earlier is key. We do prefer waking up at sunrise, but I know that that's next to impossible for a kapha. And so sleeping in is fine, but having that first event of exercise scheduled into your day and structured is really important so that by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, not too late in the morning, you start your movement. So number one is that routine. Number two is mental stimulation. So when it comes to your day, what are you doing that's going to stimulate you to change, to grow, to evolve? If left unchecked, kapha will just stay inside, watch TV, Netflix and chill, and not get off the couch. And so our job is to invite kapha to go learn something, do something, be adventurous, take an art class, like get out there and move, spice up your life. And then finally, social interaction. Social interaction is so key. Get out there, go see your friends, get out and about for that mental stimulation as well. And then finally, when it comes to your routine throughout your day, do things that will lighten things up, spice things up, and activate. So in the morning routine, adding tongue scraping and oil pulling is beneficial. Throughout the day, maybe having teas that are energizing, adding in herbs and spices that are going to help to reduce inflammation but stimulate you, like turmeric, ginger, and black pepper. These are all ways to get the system moving and churning mentally, physically, emotionally, and at all levels. So when it comes to Kapha, Kapha is that person in our lives who's grounding, who's centering, who's whole and calm and peaceful and steady. The thing is, when Kapha gets out of balance, this is someone who's going to get frustrated because everything seems to slow down. Everything seems to become really lethargic, dull, feel low. And so the job here is just bring it into balance. Each dosha has its powerhouse traits, and Kapha is that Mother Earth caretaker, grounding energy that takes care of all of us calmly and lovingly. And so our job is to support Kapha to be balanced, whole, centered, loving, kind, and giving. And that's the way every Kapha wants to feel. So I hope this video helped you today. I hope it helped you understand yourself better and the mode that you can be in and the ways to shift your routine to bring that balance into place so you can be vibrant and feel on point, healthy, strong, sturdy, but also supported. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. Check out my other videos on doshas that are right here in my YouTube channel. Take my dosha quiz at my website, drshivani.com, if you don't know your dosha, to learn your primary dosha and what is the driving force behind you. And then please like and subscribe to this channel. I am making these videos to help you understand your body type, and how to use Ayurveda in your life each and every day. See you next time.